This is a project over the film Gone Girl by Rebecca Tarver and Haley Hamlin.
On their anniversary, Nick Dunn arrives to his robbed house and finds out that his wife, Amy, is missing. Amy Dunn is then plastered all over the news and soon becomes a national story. Due to Nick's reactions being half-hearted and almost emotionless, people think he is showing signs of a sociopath. Everyone begins to turn on Nick, including the detective. Evidence begins to back up the belief that Nick is the murderer. The movie then reveals Amy alive, out in hiding, upset with the fact that Nick let their marriage go to waste. We then get to see that Amy set up the scene and faked her death. Amy leads Nick to all the places she has hid evidence to make him look guilty by planting note cards, a scavenger hunt game they usually play on their anniversary. Amy's plan goes sour, and she must think of another plan. Desi, one of Amy's ex-boyfriends, allows Amy to hide in his lake house. Nick appears on a talk show where he pretends to be apologetic towards Amy to try and lure her back home. Amy then kills Desi and makes it look as if he had kidnapped and raped her. This clears the air for Nick being the suspect. Amy reveals everything to Nick, but there is no way to prove her guilt to the detective. Nick intends to leave her, but Amy had inseminated herself with Nick's sperm from a fertility clinic and traps him by saying she is pregnant. Nick doubts it's his child, but he still feels the responsibility and can't leave them. It is then announced that they are still happily married and having a baby. We picked this film because we had both seen it before and we both found it interesting. In the movie Gone Girl, Amy Dunn shows signs of antisocial personality disorder, which falls in the category of personality disorders. Antisocial personality disorder is when a person shows no regard to right or wrong and lack of empathy for others.
A couple of symptoms for antisocial personality disorder would be using charm or wit to manipulate others for personal gain or personal pleasure, and lack of empathy for others and lack of remorse about harming others. An example of using charm or wit would be when Amy befriends an ignorant neighbor and feeds her false information so that her husband looks like a perfect candidate for her murder. An example of lack of empathy would be when Amy kills her ex-boyfriend to support her claim that he kidnapped and raped her. One symptom that Amy Dunn does not show in the movie is recurring problems with the law, including criminal behavior. Amy is a law-abiding citizen until she murders Desi, yet still covers up her tracks and avoids long-term consequences. Treatments for antisocial personality disorder would be psychotherapy and some medications. Medications are not typically used because most patients become addicted to the medicine. The projected treatment plan for Amy would be to take therapy sessions and go on to medication for depression and anxiety, like most doctors would prescribe. However, the long-term outcome for Amy Dunn would be grim because Amy's case is extreme and most likely wouldn't cooperate with her doctors.
Anti-personality disorder is depicted well in the movie Gone Girl. However, one symptom is not portrayed by Amy, which would be the constant trouble with the law. Gone Girl is not of educational value. Instead, it is purely for entertainment purposes. The movie does not go into detail or even specify the disorder that Amy has. Therefore, the audience is not aware of any disorder or symptoms that Amy displays. The disorder was showed in an extreme serious manner. However, since the movie is for entertainment purposes, the serious manner was appropriate. The movie does not offer anything of value for the audience because the movie was for entertaining people and not teaching them about the disorder.
The first scene that provided insight would be when Amy Dunn befriended a neighbor and lied to her about her marriage. This is the symptom of persistent lying and manipulating others. Amy also planted her diary of lies to support her rocky marriage claim. A second scene would be when Amy steals urine from her pregnant neighbor to have medical history of a positive pregnancy test. This is an example of the symptom of disregarding right and wrong. The film was entertaining to watch because it was unpredictable and kept the audience on the edge of their seats with the twists and turns of the plot. Yes, we would recommend this film to others because it is entertaining and has good reviews from many people. The movie is also intense and suspenseful, which would make many people gravitate towards this illusion of a happy marriage. Nightcrawler should be on the movie list because the main character depicts symptoms of a sociopath. This is also an entertaining movie for viewers and would be a good film to analyze.